Hello and welcome to the Whole Being Healing Podcast. I'm Lisa Warner,
And I'm Maura and I welcome you as well.
and together we are Lisa and Mara's Magical Mystery School for Whole Being Healers. Well, actually, we're the creators of the Mystery School, not the
Right?
actual Mystery School itself. But today we wanted to ask a question. What is more valuable, health insurance or health assurance?
Yeah, it's a good question. It's a very good question.
So
I
maybe
mean, I know the answer myself.
yeah, I mean, maybe the first part of the question is like maybe people don't really know what health assurance is. Everybody knows what health insurance is, but
Mhm.
maybe we should talk about what health assurance is.
Yeah, that's a great idea. Yeah, because health insurance never really made sense to me, but I'm a weirdo, so I have to remember most people are not as weird as me, so they get it. Yeah. But yeah, let's talk about health
People
assurance.
watching our podcast are as weird as us, so
Oh, true. Good.
we're
Yay.
in good
Welcome.
company.
Welcome, weirdos. So good to have you here. Yay. Thank you for reminding me of that, Lisa. So health assurance definitely sounds better to me because um I want to feel healthy and I want to feel assured that I'll stay healthy. And does health insurance actually do that? Not so sure myself. I guess it depends on everybody's view of it. But health assurance for me comes from within.
Absolutely. When we know how to take care of our own bodies, when we know how to nourish them, feed them, treat them properly, allow them to heal themselves when they need that, because that feature is built right into our biology, self
Yeah.
healing. When we know how to manage our own body, we can assure our own health. We have just been conditioned to outsource all of our inner resources.
Yep. That's right. Because, there's something about that when you're fearful about what might happen, then it's comforting to know that there's someone you can go to who ostensibly will know what to do and will help you. Unfortunately, it's really more of a business model than a health model. And I think most people know that to some degree, but it's just, I think, kind of gotten out of control at this point.
Yeah. What I have come to observe for myself, as one who has not had health insurance for, I don't know, well over a decade, I'm sure. Um, I have come to observe that the insurance is actually more to ensure that we use the system.
Right.
It's not
That's
to ensure our health.
right. Exactly. Yeah. And yeah, my really, as far as I can remember as an adult, my only real interaction with health insurance was when, I had my first corporate job and I got to the point where the insurance benefit kicked in. And even though I really wasn't into the whole doctor thing, I was like, well, I guess I should go just get checked out, which I'm sure everyone can relate to because everyone has probably said that at one point or another. And a lot of people do it all the time still.
Right?
So,
We've been taught since childhood you have to go for
mhm,
your annual checkup, make sure that
mhm,
everything's okay.
right?
Certainly, you
That's
have
how they
no
get you, Lisa.
right. You have no idea what's going on inside your own body. You gotta have somebody else tell you.
Right. Well, I mean, the body is really like complex and amazing.
Mm-hmm.
So do I know everything that's going on in it, sort of like scientifically? Probably not at this moment, but But there's another way that we can tune into our bodies. Our bodies speak to us, our bodies show us, our bodies, respond. And they are amazing. They're amazing. So yeah, so the health insurance ensures that you go there, get checked out, get tests, things show up on the tests, which, to be honest, at this point, with all the research I've done and things I've learned, I have no idea. Like, if they really know what they're doing, if the things that are showing up on the tests are real, or if they're just made up. I know that probably sounds crazy to say that, but from a lot of the stuff I've been seeing, it kind of seems like the whole system has been kind of set up, really, like I said, as a business model. It's set up to kind of show people what they want people to see in order to perpetuate what they're doing.
Mhm. Yeah. It's really, I want to say, it's really sad on some levels to see that we have been so disconnected from our divinely designed bodies.
Yeah.
We have been taught to fear the symptoms that our body intelligently creates. Our bodies are always working on our behalf, but we have been taught to fear our bodies as they communicate sacred symptoms to us.
Yeah, that's it. It always comes back to the fighting war model. And there's the fear that, something's attacking me or something's going to attack me, and then I need to defend myself, or I need to have somebody to defend me or to fix me or whatever. And yeah, the body is not like that. The world is not like that. It's like, it's really not. And we have to get away from that mindset in order to really see that, in order to like have our eyes open up and our awareness show up, because it really is a whole different way of experiencing life and of experiencing ourselves.
It's funny. I was doing a post for social media today, and what I had written was, we are souls who have physical bodies, but we have been taught to believe that we are physical bodies who have souls. So think about that for just a moment. If we are souls who have a physical body, but we're taught to believe that we're a physical body that has a soul, the reversal implications of having, the negative impacts of having our consciousness reversed like that, having our consciousness inverted, are massive. The repercussions are massive because we don't know who we are, and we don't know the incredible abilities that we actually have as souls.
Right? And how we can trust that.
And as souls, we know exactly how to keep our bodies healthy and fit and alive for a really, really, really long time.
Right? But most of us have either forgotten that or never really seen it in the first place in this lifetime,
Yeah.
because it's really not focused on. It's the opposite of what we're taught. Unfortunately, I mean, there are times when it shows up. We do get glimpses. We've all had opportunities to see that perspective to some degree. And at this point, I just think it's really important for us to fully step into that.
Yeah. What if our bodies are far more intelligent, far more resilient, far more agile and flexible, and able to live far, far longer than we have been conditioned to believe? Our bodies are following our consciousness. And our lives are dictated by our beliefs. What we believe is what we create, because we are grand creator beings. It's the
Right.
truth of who we are.
Yep. What if instead of circumstances, whether they're showing up in my body or outside of me, what if instead of circumstances dictating how I feel,
Mhm.
what if I get to generate that myself? What if I can choose to be happy and joyful? Which, sounds simple and also sounds crazy at the same time to me, honestly. The path that I've gone through with that is at times it felt like, well, of course, I mean, we can always decide. But then it also felt like, yeah, no, if I'm depressed, there's no way I could just automatically feel joyful. Right. But it's a process. And yes, we can. I have experienced it many, many times.
Right? Gosh, I remember when I was really, really in the depths, the deep, dark depths of depression and angst and worry and fear. And I had started my spiritual journey to awakening, and I had a teacher, and at that time he just said, well, you can just choose to be happy. And I swear to God, if I could have punched that guy in the nose
Right.
then and there, I would have done it.
Yeah.
No, you don't understand, I don't have anything to be happy about. That's how I wanted to respond.
Yeah.
But when I was able to actually just sit with that premise of I could choose to be happy, I asked a question. I was like, well, how am I supposed to be happy under these circumstances? And
Yeah.
he just said simply, can you remember a time that you were ever happy? And I was like, yeah, I'm sure I could if I thought about it. Like I was probably 6 years old, like
Yeah.
whatever. And I was like, well, and he's like, well, if you really sit and you remember that, can you remember that? And can you remember what it felt like to be happy? And then the light bulb went off. I was like, wait a second, happiness is a feeling.
Yeah.
It's not a circumstance. Like, oh, wait a second. I could feel happy anytime, because happiness is a frequency. It's something that we can feel in our bodies. Like, depression is a frequency. It's kind of a heavy, low frequency that doesn't really feel great in our bodies. But
Right.
joy is a beautiful, uplifting frequency that we feels really great in our bodies.
Mm-hmm.
We can go back and forth. All possibilities exist simultaneously. We live in a universe of infinite possibilities. And this is what that means, is that if we think about frequencies, we'll just think about it on the emotional frequency scale. I think a lot of people know what that is, where you have like, death and depression, and at the very bottom, shame, way down here at the bottom, and bliss and excitement and enthusiasm way up here. You have everything in between. They all exist simultaneously.
Yeah.
And it just depends. You're like the vertical line. You get to choose wherever you are. That vertical line is now. And wherever you choose to place your attention along that vertical line dictates like which channel you're tuning into. So just like on your TV or radio, if you're tuned into the horror channel, you're
Mhm.
not going to get the Hallmark channel.
Right.
You're not going to get the happy ending on the horror channel. It's like,
Yeah.
you got to tune to a different channel.
And that's what I was just gonna say. Like, do we do this on our own? Yes, we do. We do it from within. We each make the choice ourselves. But the channels that are available around us, it seems like so many of the channels that so many people are tuned into are the ones that support feeling bad instead of feeling good, being afraid, being sad, you know, uh, confused, weak, you know,
Yeah.
uh,
In fear.
in
Fear.
fear, polarized, the whole right wrong game, all these different things that are being just like what do you do with a frequency just like projected and and we're all when we've all been subject to that, but we all have a choice in that. We don't have to be subject to it. And when we start tuning into other channels, which again, yes, we can do on our own, but it's so much easier. It helps so much to be doing it with others, which is why we create community, which is why we, connect either online or hopefully still in person more and more as we move forward.
I mean, if you think about it, that's why fear is so prevalent on the planet, is because it's being projected en masse. It's projected to the masses through stories on the news and all different kinds of ways of projecting fear. And
Right.
because so many people are tuned into the same channels, like that fear just goes through the collective and everybody starts living in that fear category, that bandwidth of fear. But when we start to withdraw from those bandwidths and we start to move our consciousness away from those bandwidths and we
Yeah.
start moving them up toward love, toward peace, toward joy, toward self-empowerment, toward well-being, and we start to wait a second, I'm a soul with a body. I'm not the body with soul. I'm the soul with the body. Wait a minute. As the soul, I'm infinite. Wait, as a soul, I can do all kinds of things because I'm not physical. Like if I'm trying to do everything in the physical realm, it's hard to change physical stuff, but it's easier to change frequencies and wavelengths and reshape ourselves from the inside by
Yeah.
choosing different frequencies.
And shifting our consciousness.
Yep.
It those That's the easier thing to change. And then when that shifts, then the physical does begin to shift. And that's actually, as far as the body, that's like one of the first places we can recognize it and see it. We can also see it in our relationships with other people. And then we see it in the circumstances in our life. Once we've shifted the frequency, shifted our consciousness, shifted our way of being, the way we feel, what we're focusing on, then everything else starts to shift. And even though I've been knowing and teaching this for a long time, I want to say this for everyone who's watching right now, because, those of us who have done this work, it's like it keeps coming back. It's like, didn't I learn this? So why am I feeling bad right now and wanting to wallow in it rather than move out of it? So that pull can be very strong. And then we get even more caught up in like seeing what we're doing, what we're not doing, the way we should be doing it, and the way we could be doing it, and then we're judging ourselves, right? So like that's all fine but unnecessary. If we can just say, oh, okay, there, oh, I see that, okay. I mean, it's normal. There's nothing wrong with you if you keep going back to behaviors even after you already know. But again, being in community, working with other people who are focusing on what you're focusing on, what you want to be focusing on, makes all the difference. And there is a tendency, what I've noticed is that part of what happens when we go into sort of, a downward spiral or anything like that is there's a tendency to want to isolate. There's a tendency to not want to reach out. And so what we've found really helpful is to create structures in our lives that make it so that we're kind of, it's automatic, right? We automatically have people supporting us. We don't even have to reach out. It's already in place.
Right. And we're reaching out to the people who are on our same wavelength. So because we have already done this work of learning that our bodies are self-healing and that we do have the ability to bring our bodies back into balance on our own, like we don't need somebody else to do it for us. We can manage the state of our being, our whole being, including our body, our mind, our consciousness, the soul. We can manage all of those parts of ourselves because there literally is nobody else who can manage these things for us. It's up to us to learn how to manage our own selves, which includes in managing the health of our physical, mental, and emotional bodies. And once we can do that, we realize we're not dependent on health insurance. So we really honestly don't care what happens to the premiums. It doesn't affect us in any way, shape, or form because we're not part of that system. We don't need that system because we have our own assurance that we know how to assure our own health. And it doesn't make us better or anything like that. It's just we have taken the time to do this work and we know that it's possible. So we can simply be here as a beacon, as an example. If this is something that you're looking for to kind of get away from these systems, to take more power back so that you have control over your state of being, so that you don't have to go into fear when your body shows a symptom, so that you can remain peaceful and calm and happy no matter what your body is doing because you're not afraid of your own body. Like this
Yeah.
is what's actually possible and it's actually what's normal. It's actually the divine design. It's how God, source, creator, life itself created all of these spectacular bodies that we have.
Yeah, it's so beautiful. The design is so beautiful. And once we shift our minds, it makes so much sense.
Mm-hmm.
And then you can see, oh yeah, that other way really didn't make sense. That the body does make sense. And and it is a remembering because there are things that when we were younger that we kind of knew, like this happens, you get hurt and the body heals,
Mm-hmm.
it's like that's what happens. But I think we forget or we just kind of discount that because so many other things have been taught that, well, you have to do this and you have to do this. And it's like, no, you don't.
Right. Yeah,
It's
we've
just-
just been inundated with the fear of death, right? If you don't go get this test, like, oh my gosh, there could be something going on in there that's just going to kill you right overnight out of the blue.
right.
Don't know about. It's like, wow, if we keep living in fear of those things happening, the problem with that is that we create those things. What we focus on is what gets drawn to us.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
So we come back to our original question. What is most valuable to you? Health insurance or health assurance? They're two vastly different things. And for any of you that don't know who Maura and I are, we both are experienced self-healers because we have each faced some, supposedly potentially deadly disease, and we healed ourselves because we could. because we knew inside that that was possible. So
Yeah,
for me, not having health insurance at that time was actually even a blessing for me, because it took the it kind of took that whole thing off the table for me. Because at the time I was also facing like financial hardship, that I had created for myself. And like I didn't have the money to go to the doctor too, to for all of that stuff. And it's like, oh, what if I just heal myself? And it was the most amazing, beautiful, self empowering experience of my life. It completely shifted my entire consciousness. It shifted my biology. It shifted everything, because the whole thing of cancer, it's like, wow, that was an illusion. It wasn't what actually was happening to my body. My body was doing something beautiful on my behalf, but I had
right.
been taught to look at it as something really
Right. That's what I was going to say. It's not like we weren't both scared to some degree at first,
sure.
because, it's scary because that's what we're taught, that it's scary.
Exactly.
And but we both had a stronger feeling about something else, and we were both willing to say, well, what if it's not scary? Right? What if there's something else available?
Exactly.
And what would that look like? And how do I connect with and communicate with what my body is doing? And how do I find out what it's trying to tell me, what it's showing me right now, and what it's creating for me? That's beautiful.
Yeah. When we learn that our bodies are biological, our bodies are intelligent. There is divine intelligence in every single cell of our bodies. And our bodies are working on our behalf in every moment of every day. The body wants to thrive. That's its natural proclivity, is thriving. But when we're in fear of our own bodies, and then outsourcing our the innate self-healing ability, when we're looking to somebody else to tell us what's wrong with our bodies, how to fix our bodies, it doesn't usually work out all that well.
Right. And the somebody else is not the problem. The doctor himself or herself, the one who you're, going to. That's not the problem. It's the system that's the problem. It's the the whole way that it's set up. And so, they're victims of it as well. We're not trying to badmouth doctors or say that they're all, not trying to do good,
Yeah.
and the connection to a doctor can be a positive experience at times in certain situations. And we all have free will choice, but when that system keeps us from tuning in to our own bodies and has us, like you said, Lisa, outsourcing to, you know, people who are supposed to be authorities of our bodies, like who could be an authority of my own experience but me?
Mhm.
And that's what we all need to come back to. Or at least, for the two of us, that's what we've come back to, and it's made a huge difference. And then as we come into community with others who are doing that as well, it's making an even bigger difference. And we're getting all charged up, and now we have a big mission and we're excited about it, because the more of us who do this, the easier it becomes to understand it, the easier it becomes to lean into it, the easier it becomes to experience these things that we're talking about.
Right, and the easier it is to recognize, like, oh my gosh, I'm not crazy. Like, other people see
Yeah.
what I see. When we're looking at things seemingly through our own lens, and we look around and we don't see other people seeing the possibilities that we see, we think like, oh, well, I must be wrong because, nobody else is doing this. So maybe I need to do what everybody else is doing. But, unfortunately, we never grow beyond where the masses are. If we continue to do what we've always done, we'll continue to get what we've already got. So, and when we look around and see what we've got at the moment, like, it's not particularly uplifting out there. We don't have a healthy society. We don't have a healthy earth. We don't have healthy, fresh air to breathe. We don't have healthy, fresh water to drink. We don't have healthy forests and farmlands galore. Our oceans are not healthy. So when the environment isn't healthy, we're a reflection of that as well. So in order for us to change any of this, in order for us to turn all of this around, it starts right here. We have to change it for ourselves first. We have to learn how to create health for ourselves. We have to learn how to create a healthy mental, physical, and emotional environment in which we each can thrive.
Right. Peace within, self-love, self-trust.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. And trusting each other, trusting our fellow humans, the people closest to us, instead of fighting with them.
Yeah, it's so important. So we hope that this message is resonating with you today. If it is, please reach out to us. You can find us at wholebeinghealing.life. Come check out the mystery school, see what we've got. We're creating something really, really beautiful. And the results that we're getting with our participants are really beyond amazing, like far beyond what we had even dared to dream. So if you would like to experience some real profound personal growth, to be able to empower yourself, to be able to shift your mindset from having to rely on other people for your health, to be able to assure your own health, we've created a beautiful pathway called Whole Being Healing, which is a step-by-step guide to showing you how to take your power back, how to recognize all of the intelligence, the wisdom that's right inside you that you haven't noticed before. And once you notice it, you can't unnotice it. It starts to become yours. You start to feel better when you start to know yourself better and know your body better, and to trust yourself and love yourself. It changes everything.
Yeah. And you can do it.
We all can.
We all can. We all deserve to.
Right?
It's who we are.
It is. We are
Yep.
these beautiful, worthy, intelligent, grand beings of light and love. And we deserve to live in a healthy, happy world. We deserve to thrive together.
Yeah.
So thank you so much for watching us today. We really appreciate your presence here with us. And like, our next course of Whole Being Healing will start on January 6, 2026. And so right after the holidays, kick off the new year with that resolution to take your power back, to recognize the superpowers that you already possess, to change your health on your own, to create health and happiness on your own terms, to be able to thrive like you deserve to thrive. So come visit us at wholebeinghealing.life.
Sounds
Anything
good.
else you'd like to say today, Maura?
I'm just really grateful to be doing this work with you, and grateful to be getting this message out to whoever's ready to hear it, and to come and join us.
All right. So until our next podcast, we wish you happy
Healing.
healing.